Hey everyone, we're the Master Brothers.
And this is the complete guide to the climate controls in your Tesla.
We're going to be breaking it down into 3 sections. What you can control from the app, what you can control from the screen in the car, and also what you can set the climate to do when you leave the car.
Let's get into it.
From your app, go to Climate. Here you'll see the internal temperature of the car, and then you're able to turn on the climate to set it to your desired temperature. You can also control the heated seats and turn on the front defroster to melt snow and ice.
You can also use the climate controls in the app while you're on a trip. So say you're sat in the back of the car and you didn't want to disturb the people in the front, you can use the app to set your own heated seat. Turning on climate also preconditions the battery, so you'll see a little battery icon with a little snowflake on it, and that just means that the battery's heating up to get you the optimal performance and efficiency out of it. Now when you enter the car, the climate controls are available on the bottom of the screen. But the only catch with that is that someone needs to be in the driver's seat in order for the screen to actually turn on.
To solve that though, what I usually do is if I'm in the passenger seat, I'll just lean over and put some pressure on the driver's seat.
Now assuming that your screen is on, to turn on the climate, just press the fan icon or adjust the cabin temperature. To turn off the climate, press the fan icon, then press the power button that shows up in the climate controls. So you can have the climate controls either set to auto or manual.
Auto doesn't always work perfectly, so we've had to use a combination of auto and manual if auto is not doing the job.
In manual, you have a lot more control over the climate, obviously, whereas in auto, all you can control is the internal cabin temperature and the face vent direction. With the temperature controls, you can have it synced between the passenger and driver's side, or if you press the sync button, you can have dual climate control, so you can have kind of different temperatures in each half of the car.
Yeah, so the sync button either puts them together or separates them. In manual mode, you can toggle air conditioning, which will help remove moisture from the air.
It uses a bit more energy and it cools the air slightly, but it's really good to use in winter because it can help reduce the fogging that occurs on the windows.
You can press the plus or the minus button to increase or decrease the fan speed. I'll leave you to decide which one is which. The maximum speed is 10, which is quite noisy, but we never really use it, so it's not much of an issue.
Since there's no engine, the AC is where most of the noise can come from, so maybe that's why we notice that it's a bit loud, but it's really not too bad. From the driver's side of the climate controls, you can change where the air flows into the cabin when you're in manual mode. So you've got windshield flow, face level vents, and the footwell vents. And you can choose any combination of those depending on where you want the air to go.
When the face level vent is on, you can adjust the direction of the airflow from each vent from the screen. To do this, just drag the radiating air waves from the corresponding vent from the touchscreen.
The air can flow in a single stream or in 2 separate streams. In order to split the airflow, just touch the airflow with 2 fingers and then spread them apart. You can change the distance of the splitting in the left and right directions, but the 2 streams will always flow in the same direction vertically. Now we would like more physical controls of the front vents because it can be really fiddly trying to do it from the screen, especially while you're driving. It can be really distracting, which can be dangerous.
Yeah, it would actually be really nice if they did have some physical controls there so you could just lean forward and do it. But I think the minimalist look, without being able to see those physical controls, does look quite nice and it would take it away.
That's true. Now luckily the rear vents do have the physical controls because, you wouldn't be able to control them from the front screen if you were sat in the rear. So, yeah.
Yeah, pretty straightforward to use. Just use the physical control up, down, left or right.
To turn them on and off though, you have to do that from the front screen. The button is on the passenger side.
To access all of the heated seat controls, just click on the 3 squiggly lines on the driver's side from the climate settings, or you can access them through voice control.
Rear right heated seat to medium. Oh, it still says set to high. There's also quick access controls in the bottom bar for the 2 front heated seats. You can also control the front and rear windshield defrosting and defogging, which is handy to have, always available.
You can also set what the climate does when you're in park and the battery's above 20%, and that will happen whether you're in the car or not. You can choose to have the climate stay on even after you've left the car, which is super useful, say for example on a hot day and you have loads of groceries in the car.
Now, the boot doesn't have climate control, so in that situation, we'd probably just fold the rear seats down so that the boot can be kept cool as well. Dog mode keeps the climate on in the car to keep your pet comfortable, and it also displays a message on the screen showing the internal temperature so that anybody walking by knows that your pet is doing just fine. But also, make sure you always have your phone on you just in case anything goes wrong. You'll probably get a notification if the temperature goes too high or if something happens like the alarm goes off.
Camp mode will keep the USB ports and the 12-volt socket powered for charging devices, and you'll still be able to use the touchscreen to watch TV, play games, just normal Tesla things.
It also obviously keeps the climate at your desired set temperature, and it'll also disable Sentry mode and the alarm system because you'll probably be staying in the car and you don't want the alarm going off whilst you're inside.
Yeah, especially if you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Knowledge.
Cabin overheat protection in the safety and security controls turns on the climate if the internal cabin temperature gets over 40 degrees Celsius or 104 degrees Fahrenheit. You can have that on with AC or without AC, and having it on without AC uses less energy, but it won't do as good of a job as keeping the temperature down, so I'd probably use it with AC.
Yep, probably. Especially if it's getting 40 degrees.
Yeah,
real hot.
That's too hot. You need AC on if it's 40 degrees. You can also schedule the cabin to precondition every day or just on weekdays by a certain time. But for more information on that, check out our video about the 2020.48.30 software update.
Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments section what you want to see next.
From the Master Brothers, we'll catch you on the flippity flip.